ฮายสวัสดีทุกคนนะคะวันนี้จะพามาอ่านหนังสือแบบ Pomodoro กันเนาะแบบวิธีการอ่านแบบมะเขือเทศนะซึ่งจะใช้เวลาอ่านทั้งหมด25นาที25นาทีแล้วเราก็จะพัก5นาทีกันนะคะโอเคอ่ะเนี่ยอันนี้ไม่ได้คีโมเลยนะคะวันหนึ่งก็จะอ่านประมาณ2ชั่วโมงค่ะอ่านเป็น4เซสชั่นเนาะอันนี้ทำผิดเยอะแต่ก็ทำช่างมันบนอะไรนะนี่นะคะตรงนี้เลยหลักฐานเนาะซึ่งแล้วก็เป็นวิธีที่ฝึกไปเลยไหนอ่ะนี่นะคะเนี่ยนี่ตรงนี้ด้วยนะคะเวลาที่เราเสร็จปุ๊บก็จะเขียนไว้นะคะจะได้แบบบอกตัวเองว่าพักนะอะไรนี่นะคะนี่ตรงนี้นะคะได้เบอร์อาจจะนะช่างมันนะคะโอเค sorry with me นะวันนี้อาจจะแบบรีบนิดนึง โอเคเดี๋ยวปิดเพลงก่อนบอกให้ปิดเพลงก่อนโอเคอันนี้เป็นคลิปใน YouTube เนาะซึ่งไม่ได้มีอะไรมากค่ะแล้วก็แค่จับเวลาไม่ปล่อยให้แบบว่าไงปากกาหายจะแล้วนะคะเดี๋ยวใครอยากได้คลิปอะไรไว้วันหน้าแล้วก็ค่อยมาเพิ่มกันนะคะแต่ว่าวันนี้นะคะ Pomodoro study with me study with Pomodoro style ให้ตั้งค่าไว้เอาตั้งไว้แล้วเนาะเป็นอย่างนี้เลยค่ะ25 5จริงๆในโทรศัพท์ก็มีเนาะ25กดเริ่มเลยนะคะเราจะได้โฟกัสกับการเรียนตรงหน้าตรงนี้นะคะโอเคเดี๋ยวพอนึกฟังออกไปโลด
Okay. The next question. The foundation of a building is in the shape of
ไม่ค่อยเห็นเลยโอเคจริงๆเราต้องสรุปแล้วนะเนี่ยเดี๋ยวค่อยสรุปท้ายคาบก็ได้ค่อยสรุปท้ายคาบเรื่องนี้น่าจะ2 ชั่วโมงโคตรอิดเราหายไปไหนก็ไม่รู้เราเจอคำศัพท์คำว่าแบบนั้นอันนี้ไม่เกี่ยวนะอันนี้เราแค่จดไว้กันลืมแต่ว่าลูกเล่นของน้องก็คือมันสามารถที่จะตั้งได้แบบนี้น่ารักมากอยากซื้อพิกัด DIY นะคะโอเคไปเราก็จะเปิดเพลงไม่ได้เปิดแล้วอ่ะเปิดเป็นเพลงแทนละกันเราแค่เขียนเฉยๆตัวก็สั่นแล้วเหรอเวอร์ไปปะ
ตัวตายมันก็ตาย
decorations ไปไว้ข้างล่างอย่างนั้นนะเขาใหญ่อันนี้ไหมตัวอะไรอ่ะมันคือตัวอะไรอ่ะตัว M หรอตัวอะไรอ่ะมันคือตัวอีกอย่างวะมันน่าจะเป็นตัวอะไรวะไม่ค่อยเขียนค่ะสัน
Since it's 7, since it's a number 5 or greater, we will round this up to 1 and replace everything with zeros, and B will be the correct answer here. Okay, the next question. The foundation of a building is in the shape of a rectangle with a length of 20 meters and a width of 18
R เหรอ
meters.
หรือว่า
The
M
actual question is down here. To the nearest meter, what is the distance from the
คือ
top
มัน
left corner of the foundation to the
อ่า
bottom right corner
ดูละ
of 18 meters? Now the actual question is down here. To the nearest meter, what is the distance from the top
จับมายัง
left corner of the foundation
foundation ลืมไปแล้วว่าแปลว่าอะไร
to the bottom right corner? And I put
corner โอเค corner is corner corner อะไรอ่ะข้าวโพดอ่ะมนุษย์ข้าวโพดโอเค get out of here corner corner ต้องคนนี้ต้องเป็นคนเหนือ
คอ
แน่
นเนอร์
ใช่คน
จอห์น
นี้
คอนเนอร์หรือเปล่า
corner ใครอ่ะหรือมัมมี่เหรอชื่อนักแสดงเขาเก่งเนาะ
บ้านมันก็แตกกัน
ดูหนังเรื่องเดียว แต่ว่ามีหลายภาค
choices right here above the question just because that's how I could fit it all on the screen. But they say A is 19, B 27, C 36, or D 38. So let's have you pause the video, try this out, and if you get
โอ
stuck,
เค
absolutely no worries
CC
because we're just going to go over it, and all that means is you've got something to learn.
อือฮะ
Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is the question says what's the
Okay,
distance
I
from
need
the
a
top?
gain.
They say A is 19, B 27, C 36, or 18 meters. Now the actual question is down here. To the nearest meter, what is the distance from the top left corner of the foundation to the bottom right corner? And I put the answer choices right here above the question just because that's how I could fit it all on the screen. But they say A is 19, B 27, C 36, or D 38. So let's have you pause the video, try this out, and if you get stuck, absolutely no worries because we're just going to go over it, and all that means is you've got something to learn. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is the question says what's the distance from the top left corner? So let's find that. Here's the top left corner to the bottom right corner. So let me just trace a line here. And we're basically, we want to figure out what is the length of this portion of our rectangle here, all right? The length right here. We want to figure out C, and I'm just calling this C, is equal to what? Now, why am I calling this portion here C? Well, you may or may not have realized that what we're dealing with here, all right, is a right triangle. So we cut this, it says foundation is the shape of a rectangle, and we're given this little box type thing down here. And this is a big kind of hack to math on the GED. Whenever they're generous enough to show you one of these little box type things in a question, all right, that what you need to know is that might be a tip-off that you have to use what's called the Pythagorean theorem. So watch out for these little box type things. They won't always give it to you like this, but if they do, okay, you need to know that that little box type thing represents a 90-degree angle. So you've got one straight line going this way, one straight line going this way, and when they cross, it forms this little 90-degree angle. And the important thing, though, to recognize is that when we have a right triangle, which is another word for a triangle that has this 90-degree angle, we can use a formula called the Pythagorean theorem. And so really, I think the hardest part about Pythagorean theorem questions is first understanding that you have to use this special formula right here. So if you didn't know you would use this formula for this question, you can pause the video again now that I've given you the formula, and you're welcome to take another stab at it now that I gave you this formula. But if not, let's break it down right now. And so basically, the formula says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And again, whenever you see one of these little box type things down in the corner, all right, of a triangle or even a rectangle, whatever they give you, that's not always going to be the case, but oftentimes it can be a tip-off that you'll have to use this formula. Not always, but again, like that's a good rule of thumb, especially if you're stuck on a question. Find that little box type thing in the corner if they give it to you of a triangle, or it could be a rectangle like this. Be aware that really this is almost a square because this side's 18. Almost a square, but whatever. Let's not split the difference here. Little box type thing, you want to think Pythagorean theorem, which is this formula right here. Not guaranteed it's always going to be the case, okay, but more often than not, that's they're giving you a clue here. So it doesn't really matter if I plug 18 in for A or 20 in for A. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do it this way. Let's just say 18 squared. So I'm plugging 18 in for A, but whether I call 18B or 20B, it doesn't really matter that much. Basically, we want to do 18 squared plus 20 squared. And we want to plug this into our calculator, but you have to be aware that this is only going to tell me what c squared is, which that's not what we want. We want to find what c is. So just keep that in mind. So 18 squared, that's the same as doing 18 times 18. 18 squared, or in other words, 18 times 18 is going to give me 324. And then 20 squared, that's the same as doing 20 times 20, which gives me 400. And remember that this is going to tell me what c squared is. Okay, so let me add these up here. So we've got 400 plus 324. And I'm putting this in my calculator right now as we speak, plus 400. And I have 724 equals c squared. So this says 724 equals c squared.
Sorry.
724 equals c squared. So a common mistake at this point would be to say, well, I have to find c, so I'm just going to square this. I'm going to do 724 squared. And for some reason, that's a very common mistake, and it's perfectly okay. Perhaps you made this mistake. Okay, if you did, we're just practicing, but know that that's actually not how we want to do it. So we want to find c, so what we have to do is we need to take the square root of both sides. We're not going to square 724. That isn't going to help us. Whenever you have c squared, if you take the square root of that, it's just going to spit out c. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So if you do the square root of 724 in your calculator, you'll see that it's a number that rounds to 27, and 27 is c, so that tells us that B is the correct answer here. Okay, the next question is a sphere has a radius of 7 that rounds to 27, and 27 is C, so that tells us that B is the correct answer here. Okay, the next question is a sphere has a radius of 7.5 centimeters. You can see a picture here. The question, it says, to the nearest cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the sphere? And again, the answer choices are up. Here. Okay, the next question is
Questions I can see that again. Oh, why you say why you like answer why ไม่ oh why you like question on อย่างนี้เนาะมาไล่ไว้อะไรข้างหลังไล่อ่อนบัตทอมเห็นยังมันบัตทอมบอไม่ under แล้วกันน่าจะเป็นคำว่า under จังสีแล้วเนาะสูเนาะเรียนภาษาจีนมาเรียนแต่ภาษาจีนภาษาอังกฤษก็บ่ได้จังแม่นโจมอีกแล้วเดี๋ยวนั้น what what's it เขากินลิ้นเข้าไปใช่ไหม what กินลิ้นเข้าไปเขาให้ลิ้นเหรอOkay, and start. No. Okay.
Sphere has a radius of 7.5 centimeters. You see a picture here. Question, it says, to the nearest cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the sphere? And again, the answer choices are up above the question, just so I could fit it on the screen nicely. A is 236, B is 1,325, C is 1,766, and D says 14,130. And I actually gave you the formula for the volume of the sphere right here, just to save you a little time, so you don't have to dig around to find that formula. So you can pause the video, try this out,
เขียนสูตรตั้งแต่ตอนไหนอ่ะ
So hopefully you had a chance to try this, and as we go along here, I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching this video. Really hope that this is helpful with just what you're doing.
We volume 4/3 อ๋อคำถามก็ถามมาวอลลุ่มคืออะไรอ่ะปริมาตรบอกมีปริมาณนะจำไม่ได้แล้วของทรงกลมหรือเปล่า คือเท่าไหร่คือสูตรอีกแบบนึงสูตรไว้สิเหมือนชายาเป่า
Really good work here. I know that it might be frustrating and tedious, especially since you've been on the video for so long. Maybe you've watched part of this and you came back to it now, you left and you did something else because you had other things going on, and you came back to it right now. But I just want to say thank you for being here, and that you're doing really great work, and that someday it's going to pay off. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but eventually it is going to pay off for you. And basically, the way you do a question like this is you just kind of just plug and chug. You just kind of plug this into the formula here. And again, pi, what you need to know is pi. For the purposes of the GED, whenever you see pi, you can just use 3.14 in its place. And for the radius here, They actually just gave you that in 7.5, so you want to plug this in here and know that you're going to do 7.5 cubed, which is the same as doing 7 tomorrow, maybe not next week, but eventually it is going to pay off for you. And basically, the way you do a question like this is you just kind of just plug and chug. You just kind of plug this into the formula here. And again, pi, what you need to know is pi. For the purposes of the GED, whenever you see pi, you can just use 3.14 in its place. And for the radius here, they actually just gave you that in 7.5, so you want to plug this in here and know that you're going to do 7.5 cubed, which is the same as doing 7.5 times 7.5 times 7.5. So you're just going to really just put this in your calculator, run that calculation, and you'll get something that will hopefully round to 1,766. C is the right answer here, and good job. Next question. The line graph shows the monthly payroll out
Good job ภาษา
run the calculation and you'll get something that will hopefully round to 1,766. C is the right answer here, and good job. Next question.
อ่านว่า
Run that calculation and you'll get something that will hopefully round to 1,766. C is the right answer here, and good job. Next question. The line graph shows the monthly payroll at a large construction company. In which month did the payroll decrease the most? A, February, B, March, C, June, or D, July? So I'd like you to pause the video if you want to, try this out, and then we're going to go over it. Okay, so the first thing to do here is I want us to, let's kind of understand what's going on the graph, right? So it's telling us monthly payroll. Now on our up and down axis, right, or y-axis, or vertical axis, it says pick
เวลาจะจนเช่นไร จัดทีเส้นเล็กพอไม่พอพี่น้องใช้ดินสอวาดจังไดเนาะบัดทีโอเคโอเคทุกคนคือตอนเนี้ยเวลาหมดแล้วเพราะว่าครบ25 นาทีแล้วนะคะ แต่ว่ามันเหลืออีกข้อหนึ่งใช่ไหมจริงๆอะว่าจะจบตั้งแต่แบบตอนที่เวลามันเหลือแบบเหลือ2-3 นาทีแล้วนะคะแต่ว่าไหนๆมันก็ใกล้จะหมดแล้วนะก็อีกนิดนึงแล้วกันโอเคตรงนี้โอเคตรงนี้ค่อยแก้อันนี้ก็พักไว้ก่อนแต่อีกนิดนึงก็จะเขียนเสร็จแล้วนะแต่แค่มือแต่ว่าไม่เป็นไรเขียนผิดหลังจากนี้นะคะ5 นาทีก็ให้เราพักไปแบบว่ากินขนมเนี่ยก็คือเศษซากอารยธรรมนะคะกินขนมหรือว่าไปพักนะคะ5 นาทีแล้วก็กลับมาเรียนต่อวนไปแบบนี้อีก4 รอบนะคะแล้วก็ตั้งไว้ซึ่งถ้าเราไม่ไปไหนเนาะแบบเราก็อาจจะแบบว่าหยิบโทรศัพท์ขึ้นมาเล่นหรือว่าทำอะไรก็ได้นะคะเพื่อให้เป็นการพักแล้วเราก็จะเอาเนี่ยออกไปแบบยังไม่ต้องเรียนต่อทำอะไรก็ได้นะทุกคนที่ไม่ได้เกี่ยวกับแบบว่าการเรียนเรายังเอาอย่างอื่นมาทำอะไรก็ได้